She walked onto the stage like she didn't belong there. 14 years old. Barely 5 feet tall. A water bottle in one hand, her parents watching from the wings, their hearts somewhere between hope and terror. The audience of America's Got Talent didn't know her name yet. They would never forget it. Lai Noelle stepped up to the microphone, and when Terry Crews asked how she was feeling, she smiled, that soft, quiet smile of a girl trying very hard to seem calm. She wasn't. Anyone watching could see it. Her eyes carried that particular kind of fear that doesn't come from doubt, but from wanting something so deeply that the possibility of failing it becomes almost unbearable. Simon Cowell watched her from behind the judges' table. He had seen thousands of auditions. Tens of thousands. He had sat through the nervous ones and the overconfident ones and the ones that started promising and fell apart in the second verse. He knew, within the first 10 seconds of meeting someone, whether this would be a moment or just another minute of television. He leaned back. He waited. Lai told the judges she had almost auditioned the year before. That she wasn't ready. That she had spent a full year working on herself, not just her voice, but her confidence, her presence, the part of a performer that technique alone cannot build. Simon nodded. He appreciated honesty. Most people who said things like that were performing humility. This girl wasn't performing anything. Not yet. Then the music started. The opening notes of Die on This Hill by Sienna Spiro filled the auditorium, and Lai Noelle opened her mouth, and the entire room changed. What came out of her was not the voice anyone expected. Not the bright, thin sound of a nervous teenager. Not the over-rehearsed perfection of someone who had spent a year copying their favorite singer. What came out of Lai Noelle was something ancient. Something weighted. A rich, controlled alto with more emotional depth than most professional singers spend careers trying to develop. The sound moved through the room like something physical, and the people sitting in those seats felt it before they understood what they were hearing. Sofia Vergara's expression shifted. She turned to Simon, something urgent in her eyes. She leaned toward him and said she was thinking about pressing the golden buzzer. Simon told her no. He said it quietly, definitively, the way he says things when he's already made a decision he hasn't announced yet. Sofia looked at him. He was watching the stage. Watching Lai. And there was something in his face, not the cool calculation he usually wore, but something rarer. Something that looked almost like wonder. Lai kept singing. Her voice climbed and then dropped back, riding the emotion of the lyric with a precision that should not have been possible for 14 years of living. The song was about holding on to someone who wasn't holding back. About choosing a losing battle because you can't imagine choosing anything else. And somehow, this teenager from Texas made every word of it feel true. The audience was on its feet before the final note. And Simon Cowell, the man who had built his career on saying no, on protecting this stage from anything less than extraordinary, leaned forward, and pressed the golden buzzer himself. Gold confetti exploded from the ceiling. The sound was deafening. And Lai Noelle stood in the center of that storm, shaking, crying, her hands over her mouth, unable to process that this was real. She ran off the stage and collapsed into her parents' arms, and her father held her the way fathers hold daughters when something they have sacrificed years to build finally comes true. Sofia Vergara was laughing and shaking her head at Simon, annoyed and delighted in equal measure. He had waited, and then taken what she was going to give. He shrugged. Some moments belong to the people who recognize them first. Backstage, still wrapped in gold, Lai could barely speak. Someone asked her how she felt. She laughed, the kind of laugh that carries a year of early mornings and long nights and 100 private moments of doubt inside it. I just wanted to prove I was ready, she said. She had done more than that. She had walked into a room full of strangers, opened her mouth, and reminded every single person watching that talent this real doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need to. It simply arrives, and the room knows. Simon Cowell knew. AGT knew. And now, the whole world knows the name Lai Noelle.